Hi, I'm here with Khalid Dannish, the CEO of Bahrain Fintech Bay. Khalid, can you tell everybody a bit about yourself and a little bit about Bahrain Fintech Bay?
Hi, Richie. Thanks for having me. Sure. So my name's Khalid Dannish. I actually started with FinTech Bay when we first launched in 2018. Um, Back then, I was heading up business development, and I've since become CEO at the turn of the year. So my experience predominantly is investment banking. So from um, when I graduated, basically, to before taking this great opportunity. So most of my experience is based back in London, with various investment banks, American and British.
Excellent, and congratulations on your appointment this year as well. So
Thank you.
you're welcome. My question to you, Khalid, is can you describe a bit about Bahrain's fintech journey as a
Yeah.
whole?
So I think, depending on which way you want to look at it, I think 2017 is a good milestone to begin. Obviously, it was the launch of the regulatory sandbox from the central bank, which is a great initiative to not just attract fintechs, but also open up to new business models and look to really learn and have that knowledge exchange. We launched shortly after in Feb of 18, and there was a real, that was probably the first time there was a collective first drive from both industry, government, and the region at large to really embrace emerging technologies and for us to focus on developing the fintech ecosystem.
Mhm.
So we looked at the ecosystem at large and said, well, what core building blocks are required to really drive forward this emerging industry and to position Bahrain as a hub. Um, and most importantly, from both a supply and demand perspective. It's not purely focused on attracting fintechs. It's also about supporting corporates in their
Yeah.
innovation journeys as well. So we looked at addressing, talent development, acceleration, incubation, advisory, awareness, and we were really able to put in place a framework, I guess, to support that growth, whilst also, focusing on the interplay and the interchange between all of those elements. Um, so really, the company has evolved since 2018 with both the maturity of the ecosystem and the pace and the acceleration at which fintech itself is changing across the world. So we're definitely we've come a long way from where we were in a short space of time.
And it's definitely an amazing journey in the short amount of time, like you said.
Yeah.
So that's great. My next question for you, Khalid, is with the FinTech Times this month, we're focusing on partnerships and collaborations as our theme. How has that come into play in the growth and acceleration of not just Bahrain FinTech Bay, but maybe Bahrain as a whole?
Yeah. I think look, it's vitally important to understand that partnerships and collaboration is the way forward. That is how to leverage expertise from like-minded individuals, but also very varied backgrounds.
Mhm.
Um, our whole business model is built upon partnerships. So actually, we launched with partnerships with key stakeholders in industry, government, VCs, academia, associations, our regional counterparts, to really leverage all of that expertise and to get the most out of what everyone's looking to achieve. Um, Specifically, when it comes to fintech collaboration, obviously that's the consumer is always going to be a winner in that scenario. It's a chance for corporates to or incumbents uh, to really look at fintech business models and use cases and adapt them in a way that's localized to the market, but also scalable across the region. And from a fintech perspective, obviously, it's great to be able to leverage um, this part of the world that is, as I said, had this tremendous growth cycle. We've gone from awareness to now investment very quickly, and
Yeah.
that's the collaboration or partnership space has really been condensed. So from our perspective, it's great to see partnerships within fintechs, between fintechs and corporates. Also, VCs have a role to play. The regulator, of course, and governments as well, looking at digitalization. So, our main proposition is facilitating these digital partnerships.
Excellent. And Khalid, my final question to you is, most of our audience is not from the Middle East and Africa, or MEA, particularly for them, and also for those in MEA as well, a growing audience here. What advice would you give for any business, company, organization that's looking to do business in Bahrain, in the Gulf Cooperation Council region and beyond?
Yeah, I think, as I was mentioning, I think leverage the growth of the region. We look at it as an opportunity for international expansion. It is a sizable geography when you look at it in totality. So obviously, don't think about building something specific for a couple of countries. It needs to be built for scale. Leverage all the support that's available, both at a governmental side and from corporates as well. Look to reach out to entities like ourselves and our counterparts in UAE, in Saudi, in Jordan, and elsewhere. And really, I guess, be opportunistic in the approach. Don't be afraid to pivot if necessary. Of course, not everything from more developed markets works in exactly the same way it will work back home. And just bear in mind, it's a relationships business, right? It's a relationships game. So this part of the world, like many others, is very much around relationships.
That's very good advice. Khalid, thank you so much for your time, and hopefully we get to see you in Bahrain soon.
Thanks very much.